Okay, so I read the latest issue to the Walking Dead comic book series, so spoiler warning, when these fingers disappear, I'm about to fuck it up for you. So if you don't want to be here, now'll be the time to leave. Negan is out. Negan is out of his cell. Like, what the fuck? That fucking punk ass kid Brandon lets him out, out of his hatred towards Rick and the Alexandrians, and primarily Rick, and he has a proposal. He gives Negan a proposal like, let's tell the Whispers what they're up to, and and then that way they'll kill them all, and my gosh. I mean, this kid is like way out of line. He is in way over his head, and he is. Oh man, he is just a made. He's just a. He just has a target painted on his back, literally. I mean, people who are this dangerous and half cocked like that don't last long on The Walking Dead. So you just gave your soul to the devil, my friend. You just did, and you let him out of the cell. And before that, he was trying to beat the shit out of Rick. He's like, "Oh, you killed my father!" Blah, 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 blah. And then Rick gets the upper hand on him, and he as he has him in the chokehold on it with his cane, and he's like, "I have to remind you that you knocked my son." You knocked my son over the head with the brick, and then etc. And he said, I'm trying to help you, but maybe I should choke the fuck out of you or whatever. And then Michonne stops him, and then he lets him go with one last fair warning that if he slips up again, he's gonna fucking put a bullet in him. And I hope that comes in the next issue. Please, Mr. Kirkman, please make it happen. And then in the opening scene of in the opening panel, Eugene is talking to this mysterious character, whoever the fuck it is. I hope it's not, I hope it's not a fragment of his imagination because he lost Rosita. I mean, come on. I mean, we've went that route already with Rick, both in the comic book series and the TV series. Don't do it again, please. So hopefully this is the introduction to another character, maybe another character that can be a new ally to Rick in the group, to the Alexandrians, because yeah, there's that opposite side where it could be another threat. It could be one of the Whispers or whatever, but there's got to be some good people out there too. So this could be that. So and then Gabriel is finally stepping up, and I find that very funny that Gabriel is stepping up in the comic book series and in the TV series right at the same time, and I guess with that being said, he's stepping up a lot earlier than we would expect him to in the TV series. In the TV series than he is in the comic book series, and on top of that, and like when you watch the promo for the next episode for this weekend's episode, he's out on the mission with Rick in the group to go kill Negan and get some of the Hilltop members back. Like, wow, that is a big step up. That is a big step up. Like that he would volunteer his tribute. Like, oh my gosh. I mean, when he said when he wants to, like through the season where he said he wants to help out, and he's trying to convince Rick and Carl that he wants to help out, he wants to learn how to use a gun and everything like that. He wasn't playing. He's out there on the mission to help Rick kill Negan, like in the TV series. Like, wow, that is definitely a huge step for that character. And in the comic book series, he's stepping up, taking walkers down and whatnot. But Dwight, I mean, I agree with Dwight, like with his concerns, for him not being able to take out a living threat, when it comes down to it, um, namely the Whispers, and potentially Negan. I can't see him being the one to take Negan down, but I'm just saying, I'm just making an example. And it's it's pretty funny, like how I see Rick and Michonne talking. I'm like, yeah, come on, just make out, go fuck. I'm like, oh, that's right, this is the comic book series. He's with Andrea. It's funny how I have to separate my mind in the comic book series at times. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. But I mean, like, I'm still a Roshon shipper. I mean, like, I liked Andrea. I mean, when she got killed off in the TV series, when they showed that in the season 3 finale, that did bum me out a bit. I'm like, why? I mean, who's Rick gonna be with? And then my friends were like calling the Roshon, the Roshon shipping to come in, for the Roshon ship to sail in. And I'm like, huh? Why? Huh? But I paid more closely attention to how they talk to each other in the second half of the third season, and when they have when they develop a stronger bond in season 4 and beyond, and from there on, I'm like, I see it too. I definitely see it. I mean, they have so much in common. I mean, they were both emotionally closed off, especially when it came to having a significant other, and then when Michonne's starting to let some bricks fall down, and then Rick is, and Rick's starting to let some bricks fall down as well when he got to Alexandria in the TV series. And that's one thing that Jesse did in the TV series. She opened up his heart a bit, and then after that 2 month gap, like for them taking the Alexandria back, it seems like all the walls are down. When it comes to those two characters, and when it comes to, that need to want to have a significant other, and that's when Michonne comes in. Yeah, so they can relate to each other, and I mean that's what connects them a lot more. And I think Robert Kirkman finally sees that, and that's what was building up to it. And I'm like, and part of me was afraid that they would never do that. They would never have the Roshon thing coming in, but I'm like, how can you not? And they finally did. Okay, let me stop. Let me calm down. Let me calm down. And then I mean, I think I broke down everything in the comic book in this latest issue. It's a great read, and it gets a 9 out of 1 to 10 for me. And like I said, I hope that fucking kid gets killed off in the next issue. I mean, in the route that he's going, he is going to get himself killed sooner than later. And oh my gosh. And I think I covered everything. I think I did, and I think I hope that Rick, I think the more logical route, like for when it gets to the All Out War story arc in the TV series, when it finally reaches the conclusion to that war, the more logical route for in my opinion personally, at least in my opinion, would be for Rick to kill off Negan. I mean, it's got to do it. I mean, he's a motherfucker and he has to die, even though he's too good of a character to kill off. And then I don't know where exactly they plan to take him in the comic book series. It's like I mean, what are you planning to do with this character in the comic book series? Like, where are you going with this? But it seemed like the more logical route would be for Rick to kill him off. But if they don't, then okay. I mean, I won't have a huge bitch fit over it. But it just seemed it would just seem the more logical route for Rick to take. Better safe than sorry, right? And he declares himself as a man. He doesn't take chances anymore. So, but that's starting to I think he's starting to let that crumble a little bit also. Just to a certain degree, where he can have a comfort medium. So, and I hope Rick stays at his prime for a long time to come in the TV series. Now, when it gets to the final, like the guaranteed official final season of the Walking Dead TV series, then he can be at where he is now in the comic book series, where he's, where he's not really, he's not really in that much of a condition to, to really go out there and fight like he used to. And it's amazing he made it this far with one hand, though. That's got to mean something. So I hope they keep him at his prime, in the TV series for a long time to come. I really hope they do that. I mean, that's when we really have him at his best, and when he's a bloodthirsty maniac, and he has to let that out. And I love, that he still has a little bit of that in him in the comic book series right now. Considering what he's gone through and what he, and what decision he had, in store for Negan to keep him locked up and whatnot. So I'm glad there's still a little bit of a killer in him. So yeah, and when he has people, putting on the walls like silence the whispers or whatnot, and he's saying like, yeah, this is necessary. So if you enjoyed my review for this issue, give this video a thumbs up and make sure you click subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.